Hey everybody, Goddess of Chaos here. I know it's been a little over a week. I was going to do videos for, I try to do them on Wednesdays and Saturdays. However, I have been pretty sick. I don't know what the heck is going on, but it can go straight to hell. Last Thursday, my legs were a little sore. So I thought, well, maybe I just pulled a muscle. I've been doing some leg exercises here at the gym. And by 4 o'clock that day, that's when the aches started to spread a little bit and go up the rest of my body. And I'm like, yeah, it's not just that. So my husband was sick about a week prior, and then about a week prior to that was my daughter. So I knew it was just time for me. So it was so bad that I had to call off the next day. I don't like to call off if I don't have to. Saturday and Sunday, I basically spent all day in bed, which if you lay down too much, for me, I get a headache. I know when you're sick, you're supposed to rest. And when you're sore and stuff, you want to sleep. But if you sleep too much, you get a headache. And so you don't know if you're having a headache because of the too much sleep, the not eating enough because of all the sleep, or because you didn't have any caffeine. So it's like, okay, which one is it? And then Monday I was starting to feel better, but not by much. And I'm just like, you know what? I needed an extra day off. So I just called in again. I hate doing that, but you got to take care of yourself. And I thought to myself, you know what? All the times that I have went in sick-ish because I didn't want to call off when I worked retail. And I thought, you know what? I could do a video on that. I'm sure there's other people out there that have worked retail that have had their employers, kind of try to guilt trip them into coming in, or not let them leave early, or whatever. I admit that in my retail experience, I have had that happen to me. Anyways, I have found some pretty interesting videos to react to, and there you go. I also want to add, I'm very grateful that I have an understanding employer that will allow someone to call off. I usually wait until like 6-7 o'clock that day to call off. And they've been pretty understanding and haven't given me any issues. So, but here we go.
Jackie, please don't be Jackie. Jackie, how can I help you? Hey Jackie, it's Janessa. I'm sorry for calling so early, but I'm scheduled to work at 1 o'clock today. I won't be able to make it in. I'm sick. Oh, well, you don't sound sick. Well, I was up sick all night, and I am still running to the bathroom every 10 minutes, so I can assure you that I'm sick. Yeah, sure. So who's covering for you then? I don't know. That's why I'm calling 5 hours in advance to let you know, so that you can try and find someone to cover my shift. Oh, no, honey, that's not how it works. That's not my job. If you can't make it in because you're sick, you're gonna have to find someone to cover for you, or you're gonna have to suck it up and come in. Okay, do you want me to come in and throw up on customers and poop my pants? Because I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen. There's no need to exaggerate. So you're gonna have to find someone to cover for you, or else we'll see you at 1 o'clock, okay? Bye.
My response to that is, when you're on the phone with your manager and she's saying, oh, you don't sound sick, that's when whether it's for real or not, while you're on the phone, you do the thing that you say you've been doing all night. Also, if a manager says, that's not my job, that is literally in their job description, that they are to find coverage for people that have called off. Do you know how many times a manager has called me because someone had called off? for being sick. So that is literally what they are being paid the big bucks for. Don't let them tell you that. Now, if this is something that you're planning and you want to switch shifts with somebody, or if you need to take the day off and you know a couple days in advance, and you can ask your coworkers, hey, can you switch shifts? That's one thing. But if you're sick, chances are the last thing that you want to do is spend that time on the phone while you're sick talking to your coworkers. And who even says that you even have their contact information? That is literally the manager's job to do that. Okay. For now, rant over.
Hey, I was just calling in to let you know that I'm feeling a little sick, but I got tested and it's not COVID, so I'm gonna come in.
No, go ahead and take some time off. It'll be paid time off too, so don't worry about rushing back. We got you covered with additional sick days if you need it too, alright? Just get healthy.
Okay. Hey, I was just calling in to let you know that I'm feeling sick. I haven't gotten tested yet, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but how you feeling though?
I got a fever and body aches.
Oh, that's nothing. I have some orange juice and Tylenol here waiting for you.
I was gonna say that I'm pretty sure I got COVID.
Whoa, I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. We can't pay you if you're not here, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, huh? Alright, I'll come in.
Perfect.
Oh, who could forget that lovely COVID? My husband worked with someone who came down with COVID during the first strain, whenever everyone was panicking about it and we didn't know what it was or what the symptoms were and how bad it was going to get. So my husband was in contact with somebody, and I was a little worried, not only because of my husband, but also because the place where my husband worked was literally just like a block away from where I worked at when I worked at the pool store. So a lot of times they were our customers, they'd come in before or after work, get their pool and hot tub chemicals, and then, go about their day. So I had just texted my coworkers and I said, hey, if so-and-so from over at Tri-State, whatever it was called, if they come over, just be wary that they may have been in contact with somebody that had it. I didn't think that it would come back on me because they all knew that my husband worked there and may have had contact with this person that got COVID. So then I actually had the head office of where I worked call me on my personal cell phone and ask me, what were the symptoms and this and that. And I'm like, now they were telling me that I couldn't come into work for a certain amount of time because my husband may have been in contact with somebody. But my husband's workplace was not imposing those same restrictions. So I'm like, what the heck? I mean, I the only reason I even let my coworkers know is because we didn't know what symptoms that COVID would bring on. This was like right when it first came out. And a lot of their people that worked there were customers at our store. It was like just right down the street. That's the only reason I even told my coworkers, like, hey, if you see this person, stop them at the door. But no, it came back on me. Also, maybe about a year or two later, I thought I was coming down with it. So after work, I just popped over to the Med Express. It was probably just a flu, just felt achy and everything. Test came back negative. I still wasn't allowed to come back to work until a few days later, until I got a second test. So, and I got paid for both times I got paid for it. I'm not complaining. Now they'll be like, oh, what are your symptoms? Oh, you're coughing up a lung, you're doing this, you're fine. Just drink some water, you're good. Anyways, let's see what else I can come up with.
Why is there always that one guy at work who calls in sick constantly? At every job that I have ever had, there is always that one guy who calls in sick every week. And they're always the laziest workers. You'll see his name pop up in the group chat and be like, oh, what's this guy's excuse again? And then he'll come up with some lame-ass excuse saying, guys, I'm lactose intolerant and I accidentally drank milk again. And you know damn well they're fine. They're not sick at all. The worst part is they will constantly do it, and it will be like an hour before work every time. You know that management knows this, but they will not do anything about it. Frankly, I don't even know if they can do anything about it. Some people just have this mentality that if they don't want to go to work, they just make some excuse up like, oh, my stomach hurts again. Oh, I don't feel like going to work. That's the problem with our society today. A lot of it is my generation. We are lazy. I don't like it. I don't know why we're so lazy. I don't know if it's just how some people were raised or what, but some people just do not care. Like, it affects other people at work too. I don't know. There's always that one guy at work, every job I've been at, and I feel like that's going to be a common trend throughout my life.
Oh, yes, the habitual caller offer. There are at least a couple people that I can think of that did that all the time when I worked at the pharmacy and at the pool store. And if you're watching this video, you know who you are. Anyways, calling off an hour before, sometimes it was 5 minutes before their shift was supposed to start. It got to the point for both of these individuals that if we knew that they were going to be working the next day, we had to come up with a plan B on who was going to stay and help cover their shift. You know, that's how bad it was. And not that I minded helping out every now and then, because if I didn't help out, then everyone else would be screwed. Again, the managers wouldn't do anything. In the one instance, the manager was friends with the person that kept doing it. And guess who kept getting called in on her day off or asking to switch? Me. And the other people that I worked with. But a lot of times it was on me. One time I just said, no, I can't do it. He's like, no. No explanation, just no. I'm like, nope, just no. That was my day off. I didn't have plans. I didn't have to have plans. That was my entitled day off. It don't matter what I'm doing. Don't matter why I can't come in. It's my day off. That's why I can't come in. I just got so sick and tired of being the one that always fell upon. Like, you know what? You're going to be busy. Just be busy. No, I'm taking my day off. And if you don't like it, well, then hire somebody else. Get rid of this POS, because that's what they were. And if you're watching this, you know. You know. Anyways, I got one more for you. This one is more like a professional way of calling off, but it's got some pretty good advice. And then I'm going to go and hit the gym. Anyways, stay
Here's a
tuned.
script for calling in sick that works every time, whether you're actually sick or you just need a damn day to yourself. Sentence 1. I'm not feeling well today, so I'm gonna take the day off to stay home and rest. We tell them, we don't ask. Sentence 2. Before I sign off, I'll reschedule all my meetings for the day. When I get back, I'll be sure to rearrange my workflow to catch up. Here we reassure them. Sentence 3. I'm hoping with a day to recover, I'll be back in action tomorrow. And that's it. Like and follow for more.
All right, everyone. That's all I have for tonight. That was a pretty informative way of calling off. You know, that way you're respectful. Like, hey, I know there's a lot going on. I'll take care of it when I get back tomorrow. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And I'm going to go hit the gym, hopefully lose a few pounds. And I will see you later. Go out into the world and cause a little bit of chaos. But hopefully that chaos doesn't cause you to have to call off work tomorrow. Or if it does, I want to hear all about it. I want to hear what you did. Drop a like, drop a comment, and hit subscribe. And then that way when this lovely face uploads, you'll see my video. And hopefully you'll like it. All right. Have a good day, guys. Bye.